What's going on, guys? Dan with Barrel Blades and Barbells. Today I want to go over, kind of talk about and give my honest opinion on something that I've had not that long. I've only had it like 2 weeks, but I've actually got some range time with it recently, and it is, I think we need to review this. So we're going to talk about the new Timney Glock Alpha trigger, and this thing is, it's something else. So yeah, let's get into this thing. First off, this is actually installed on a build that I'm working on. This is a Polymer 80 Glock 17 clone that I've been working on. I'm calling it Michelangelo, and you'll understand why here in a minute. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, so you'll understand here in a second. But the build is not complete yet, so don't beat me up in the comments about how it's missing stuff, because I know I'm aware, and I'll kind of touch on a couple of things. But without further ado, this is the Michelangelo build. It's P80 17 frame. The slide is from Indie Gunworks, and currently it's got a 17 barrel off of one of my other guns, but it's stainless. I don't like the way it looks. I'm gonna go with a black backup tactical one, similar to the one that's in my Glock 19 here. So yeah, this thing is it's legit. I really like this build so far. I did take it out to the range, got to put several mags through it, ran flawlessly. The other 17 that I built, I had some malfunctioning issues, got it fixed, but had some malfunctioning issues. But this one, she's like butter. Now the trigger is specifically what I want to talk about on this video. So this thing is just so freaking nice, man. Like I'm so impressed with how this thing works. Now I've got two of them here. I got the 17 and the 19. This is the build. This is OEM parts. But what I want to show you is, let's see if I can do it this way. There we go. So you got that take up right there. That's your initial take up. You hit that wall, that's your break. Reset right there. You're still right at the wall, like it's less than 1/16 of an inch from the break to the wall. Like this thing is just, it's just ice, man. Like it is right there. Now the stock Glock parts, wall, break, reset, and you got that kind of, this region right here, it doesn't have that, like all the way back to there. And you always have, you feel like almost like a spring clunk when this thing goes, you know, when it actually breaks. With this, it's just real mechanical, like just, I swear it almost feels like a 1911 the way it actually breaks. It's kind of wild. So yeah, really like the way this thing feels. Yeah. All right, so I want to open it up, kind of tear it apart, and I'm not going to completely tear this thing apart. I'm just going to kind of take the slide off and show you what the parts actually are, how they kind of function. But just because I don't feel like tearing my gun completely apart to not do a full build on it, I'm just kind of demonstrating. But so if you look right here, let me grab my little pointer here. You look right there, you can see there's two springs. One is your slide stop. The other one is actually your your trigger return spring. So the cool thing about this is normally once you pull the trigger on a Glock, it's dead in the water. Like it'll be back here and there'll be nothing. With this, you can actually essentially dry fire it, and you know, it doesn't hurt anything. So the spring actually causes it to return. There is a little bit of adjustment. Now you have to, in order to get to it, you have to pull the trigger back. It is way up. See that little hole right there? It does come with a screw or a tiny little Allen wrench. You can get in there and adjust it. That actually, it changes how much of this you have. The problem you gotta, the thing you gotta really be careful with is that actually is what determines how far back you have to pull the trigger before it drops off that sear, off that wall, and releases the firing pin forward. I'm not a big fan. I would rather have a little bit of play there, especially with the way this thing breaks, because it's like wall broke. Like there is no variance there. So having that little extra take up, I'm okay with that. Back here, to install this thing, you actually would pull your stock spring out and the little retaining clip out of there. You have to take the whole entire firing pin assembly out, or the trigger assembly. You take the trigger assembly completely out. That's why I don't want to do it, because I have to take all these pins back out. I don't feel like tearing this thing apart right now, but you have to take that completely out. Once you get all the guts out of it, this red piece that's here, it's one solid chunk. It just sits down in there, and there's a set screw that comes in from the bottom. There's a hole already cut in the bottom of the trigger pack. This screw goes up in there, locks it in place. It was actually super easy to put together. I was curious. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this thing. Like, I'm pretty mechanically inclined, but I don't know what it entails. Read the directions, watched the YouTube video, boom, had the thing back together. I will tell you, you need to lube it, because it is a direct metal on metal back here. So this piece right here is spring loaded, and this is the rear portion of your trigger bar. Now, you no longer have a cruciform back here. You actually just have this sear here. It is still the stock connector. No change there. I don't know what would happen if you ran a different connector. I'm sure you can. It might reset a little faster on that, but to be honest, I don't know, because I don't have a replacement to try. But yeah, guys, this thing is for 150 bucks. Like, I know several companies that are selling just straight triggers, just the trigger shoe and a trigger bar for 150 bucks. And it doesn't change. All it really changes is this. Like, it doesn't change anything internally. It doesn't change the functionality. You're just changing the look and the feel a little bit, like the textile feel. You're not changing the actual feel of how the thing breaks. With this, it actually changes how it feels when it breaks. It actually changes how it feels and how fast it resets. So definitely, if I could recommend a trigger, and if I can afford it, I'm gonna be running this and everything. Like, I like this. This is a Cross Armory. I like the trigger shoe, but the trigger assembly on this is legit. Like, definitely worth the 150 bucks. It's just, man, that is nice. So yeah, go check them out. Watch a couple of other YouTube videos on full install if you go to do it. It's really, like I said, it's really not hard. It's pretty simple. Make sure you lube it up a little bit. Put some CLP or some gun lube on it. Make sure it's good there. Do some dry fire. Maybe run a couple dummy rounds through it. Take it out. Bang away, man. And I'm telling you, first time you do it, you're going to be like, oh, man, this thing is, it's just crispy. So hopefully you guys like the video. Like I said, I just wanted to do something kind of short and sweet on this, but is worth it. So check out my other videos. I'm going to be doing a comparison. This is going to get some more items on it when I get it finished. I got to put, like I said, the sights. I'm hoping the red dot does show up before too terribly long for it, but they're on back order. So, and I still have to order the barrel there. So when I get it together, I plan on doing a review of something that's kind of, I don't want to say high end, but throw a little more money at it versus my blue build that was my quote unquote budget build. I'll go over some price numbers and value to, price and that kind of thing. So stay tuned for that one. I do have another video that I will be working on. Hopefully the product shows up in the next week or two, and that thing shows up. I might do a box opening because I'm super excited about that. But yeah, stay tuned. I hope you guys like the video. I hope you guys like the new backdrop. If you got an idea of something to put over here, I was kind of kicking around throwing up a mount to throw my plate carrier and hang my plate carrier in this region. Or if you got some other idea or something, shoot it up in the comments. Give me some ideas of stuff to do. So yeah, I really like repurposing stuff. So if you got an idea of some way to repurpose something, throw it up there. Hope you guys liked the video though. As always, stay tuned, stay tactical, and I'll see you next time.